My brothers and sisters in Christ, yesterday we resumed the season of Ordinary Time with the 8th week of Ordinary Time. Of course, the first weeks took place between the end of the Christmas season and the beginning of Lent. But yesterday we had what I called the Echo Day of Pentecost, which was the memorial of Mary, Mother of the Church, which carried its own readings with it. And so today, in fact, begins or jumping right back into the middle of the lectionary cycle. So first reading from Sirach and the reading from the Gospel, we just jump into the middle of it as we resume just the continuous going through the cycles. And so with that, both readings today have a theme of offering to God. The first reading talks both practically and intangibly. It talks about our tithes, offering justice, refraining from evil, the sweet fragrance, the sweet odor of our offerings before God. While in the Gospel, Jesus speaks of the sacrifices of his disciples and how we'll receive sevenfold over again, both between the two readings, that God repays over and over again for that which we offer. And so when we think of the sweet fragrance of the offering, and in fact incense at Mass, this is one of the symbols of it. Not just a visual form of our prayers rising, but the sweetness of the odor of sacrifice that is pleasing to God. But we're called to be reminded of the fact that the ultimate offering we're asked to make isn't certainly not one of Old Testament sacrifice. We're not called to offer bulls and goats, lambs. We're not called just to offer money, even our time, our talents. These are all wonderful things. But ultimately, God is asking us to offer ourselves in totality. As we're joined to Jesus, we realize that while it says we'll be repaid over, in fact, we've already received the advance payment. What is it that God has offered us? The entirety of himself. God has held nothing back in giving his only Son, offering himself on the cross, not just as the high priest, but as the lamb of sacrifice. He pours out his body and blood for us so that we might have life within us. God has already given us the fullness of himself. And so in turn, we are asked to make a complete offering of self. Even though our complete offering of self is as nothing compared to God's offering, we're asked to give ourselves. That's what he wants, the fullness of our hearts. And the beauty is, even though the gift from God has already been made, the more and more we offer ourselves, we will find the more and more we will receive that gift that has been offered from him. The more and more we will receive into us the very life of God. And so, may we make our practical offerings, but may each of those offerings be just an aspect, a sign of the complete offering of life, of love, of heart that we can make. That all that we have is from God and belongs to him. And so may we offer it all back cheerfully and say, yes, Lord, take it all. May God bless you.